Senator Inhofe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got three areas that, as I've listened to the opening statements and heard the responses to questions, that I think could use a little more elaboration. I know that Mr. Sternberg, that and I wanted to tell you, you've got a real champion of rural water in Senator Bozeman. He's one that is always on that ball, and we agree with the problems. After all, Oklahoma and Arkansas are both rural areas. We're both impacted by how we do treat that. What I'd like to have you do is to anything you want to add to how this bill is going to be helpful specifically to the rural areas, give you the chance now to elaborate on that should you want to.
Thank you, Senator Inhofe, and we appreciate all your work from Oklahoma for rural water, and my counterpart, James Gamble, talks about you all the time, so thank you for the opportunity to add some additional stuff. My last comment would be on this bill is again, 14,500 water or wastewater systems throughout this nation in every state represent, and 10,000 population and under. They're the ones that rely on rural water technical assistance in the field, troubleshooting their problems that they have, because again, they don't have the expertise as larger systems where they have.
Or the resources. You know, when you
Exactly.
go around it, I know it's not any different in Arkansas
Nope.
than it is in Oklahoma. And when this hits them, they have no way of responding to it as it might in a major metropolitan area.
Exactly. So the technical assistance funding for the clean water circuit riders is essential. It's essential. The Safe Drinking Water Act, you know, has the circuit rider technical assistance provision of 12.7 million. EPA that's the issue that I have. EPA is a stumbling block because of how they've appropriated that money and put it out.
Okay, that's an excellent statement. I just want to make sure we had everything in the record that referred to that.
I have a letter that the senators here sent to EPA requesting that they.
I think it'd be appropriate to ask unanimous consent that that letter be made a part of the record at this point.
Without objection.
Thank you.
Ms. Swallow, really 150,000 civil engineers? Did I hear you right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you're in charge of all of them.
Not so sure I'm in charge. I represent them.
Well, in your statement, toward the latter part of your statement, you did address the SRF Win Act, and I just want to remind everyone that not only myself but also Chairman Barrasso is with Senator Bozeman on this legislation. Now, from your very unique position, is there anything you have not said concerning that you'd like to get in the record? You're the head of the civil engineers. What do you think?
You know, thank you for the opportunity. We're really excited that this bill is being advanced in a bipartisan manner. We're excited to hear that you're working on the SRF Win Act. And ultimately, when we talk about our infrastructure, anything we can do to increase the investment, that's the biggest challenge, is increasing the investment. We're woefully underfunding it.
Okay, well, I appreciate that very much. And Mr. Riley, in response, you responded to Chairman Barrasso's statement when we talked about local participation. And, you know, there are some people who really don't think a good decision's made unless it's made in Washington. And there are those of us who believe, who have served in the private sector as well as the public sector at local levels. We don't agree with that. So in your testimony, you say the best decisions on water issues happen at the state and local level. And I would agree with that. The decisions they make in Montana are just not the same as they would be made in Oklahoma or in my state of Oklahoma, in eastern Oklahoma versus western Oklahoma. And that's why local decisions and control are so important. Is there anything you'd like to expand on the advantages of the local participation that you have not yet?
Thank you, Senator Inhofe. I guess the proof is in the pudding when, in fact, a local effort. That means that we've spent our money before we come to see you, and it's our idea. And I believe that sells it in itself, that we have come to you. We've spent a lot of money in our state. I've worked on rural water, tribal, state irrigation projects. we're coming to you. That means that it's already been originated on our side of the ball, looking for help from
That
you.
is a great reminder, and we'll all remember that. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.